Hi children, in this lesson, lines and angles, we have learned some fundamental about lines, later about single angles and the naming of the angles based on the size of the angles, and then some pairs of angles. Now we are going to learn a little more about angles. Okay? Here you see angles made by a transversal. Number one, pairs of alternate exterior angles. See what is the alternate exterior angle means. Here you see here are one line segment, another line here. Here you have a cross line. So this is a transversal. You know this is the outer side of this is exterior. This is also exterior. So both these angles are in the exterior. But what's the one difference is there? This is the transverse, but these angles are in the opposite sides of the transverse. Okay. So exterior and opposite side of the transverse. Here too you can see this is the transverse, but in this exterior, but in the opposite side of the transverse. Here you can see here this shaded 130 to 113. This is outer, exterior, but in the opposite side of the transverse. These two opposite side of the transverse. So alternate exterior angles are a pair of angles on the outer side of each of the two lines, but in the opposite sides of the transversal. This is called a pair of alternate exterior angles. Here a pair of alternate interior angles. This is interior, you remember where the burger was kept, interior part. But here this is the transverse, but in the opposite sides of the transverse, so it is called alternate. Why? It is the different side of the transverse, so it is interior but alternate. Here too, this is the transverse, this blue, this angle and this angle is alternate. To remember, you remember this Z, see the Z. One corner, here we have one corner A, the other corner, here it is another corner. So this is, you remember Z, the alternate. Z, the alternate. So the pair of alternate interior angles they are. Okay. Now you can see corresponding angles. What is the corresponding angles? Remember, matching corners, just matching corners. Interior angle, interior exterior, that doesn't matter. But whether it's a matching corner or not, that only you remember. Forget this interior and exterior. Okay, here you see there are two lines. There are two lines here, this is the transverse. So similar or matching corners you see here. Here you have yellow, another yellow shaded. Green shaded, red here again red, blue. So this is the matching corners these similar shaded angles are. So this is called corresponding angles. Here you can see 1 and 2 are in the matching corners. So they are called corresponding angles. Okay. Let's see what's corresponding angles. Here you have one statement. Corresponding angles are equal when angles made by a transversal of parallel lines, when these two lines are parallel, one condition is this. What is the condition? When these two lines are parallel and there is a transverse, you see like this, a transversal, in that situation all the corresponding angles are equal. What is the condition? These lines to be parallel, right? So here this yellow shaded is equal, the red shaded equal, green shaded equal and blue shaded, all these are corresponding angles. They are equal in what condition? If they are parallel lines. Okay. Alternate interior angles are equal. If these two lines are parallel, in alternate interior, it should be interior and alternate. Alternate means the opposite side of the transverse. So this is interior, opposite sides of the transverse. So alternate in this yellow and you see this yellow. It is interior but alternate. So If two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, each pair of alternate interior angles are equal. Here D and E are equal, and this green, that C and F, SC and F are equal. Okay. Now alternate exterior angle, it is similar to the other one. What is the alternate exterior? This is exterior and this is also exterior, alternate exterior. This is alternate green shaded alternate exterior and this alternate exterior. They are again equal. Okay, alternate exterior here. Next, interior angles on the same side are supplementary. You see here, these are two parallel lines, but this is a transversal, these are interior angles, and these on the same side of it. Interior angle on the same side are, what is it? Supplementary. You know, when the sums of two angles are 180, we call it supplementary. So the sum of the measure of this angle and this angle, it will be 180. It is supplementary. That is the statement here. Okay. Now, to check whether two lines are parallel or not, we have some method. What are the methods? What we have learned that we are applying here. See, these two lines will be parallel. It will be parallel if all the corresponding angles made by the transverse is equal. Quite naturally, these two lines will be parallel. This is how we check whether two lines are parallel or not. You know, parallel lines never meet. They won't meet, and to check it, you check this. If the corresponding angles are equal, then it will be a parallel lines, right? Next, another checking. If alternate, this is interior, you see, this is alternate. If the alternate interior angles are equal, then these two lines are parallel. See here, this one and this one, 160, 116, here to 116. Here it is 64, if this also 64, it means these two lines, line LN, line KO, they are parallel. Okay. Next, to check whether two lines are parallel, you see, when interior angles on the same side of the transverse, it is supplementary. If the sum total of the measure of these two angles is 180, then these two lines are parallel. Okay. It is not equal but supplementary. Okay. You see, when a transversal cuts two lines such that the pairs of alternate exterior angles are equal, then it is a parallel line. Now, the exterior, and is alternate because of the opposite side of the transverse. When they are equal, what does it indicate? It indicates that the two green lines are parallel. Okay. Now, what are the main points that we have discussed today? Let's check. Alternate exterior angles are a pair of angles on the outer side of each of the two lines, but on the opposite sides of the transversal. The second one, alternate interior angles are a pair of angles on the inner side of each of the two lines, but on the opposite side of the transversal. When two lines are crossed by transversal, the angles in the matching corners are called corresponding angles. If two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, each pair of corresponding angles are equal, each pair of alternate interior angles are equal, each pair of alternate exterior angles are equal, each pair of interior angles on the same side of the transversal are supplementary, 180. Okay. Next, conditions to be parallel lines. The points we have learned today is, when a transversal cuts two lines such that pairs of corresponding angles are equal, then the lines have to be parallel. When a transversal cuts two lines such that pairs of partial interior angles are equal, then the lines have to be parallel. When a transversal cut two lines such that the pairs of exterior angles on the same side of the transversal are supplementary, it is 180, then the lines have to be parallel. When the transversal cut two lines such that the pairs of alternate exterior angles are equal, then the lines have to be parallel. These are the main points and concepts that we have learned from this lesson. So we have finished the lessons. Okay, thank you.